Hi, my name is Nia. I'm 25 years old and I'm a single mum to a beautiful boy who's nearly 6 named Zach, and this is my story. A few months after my 19th birthday, I found out I was pregnant. I remember feeling overwhelmed, but that panic feeling of what am I going to do never set in. Despite my age, I felt ready and knew I would do my best. My biggest fear was feeling embarrassed of what my friends and family would think, especially since I was halfway through my first year at uni. I decided to leave uni and carry on working the 3 jobs I had been juggling since school and up until 4 weeks before the birth. I didn't bother reading any of the pregnancy or parenting books because I knew that my birth wouldn't go to plan and neither would my child be a textbook baby, and so I just kept an open mind and dealt with things as they happened. When I found out I was having a boy, I phoned my dad straight away, who started to scream down the phone. After living with 3 women, I think he was looking forward to having another man around the house. I was quite lucky as I didn't experience any morning sickness, but around 7 months, my hands and feet started feeling itchy and got progressively worse over a couple of weeks, especially in the nights. After a few tests, I was told I had obstetric cholestasis, which is a liver disorder that less than 1 in 100 women get during pregnancy. I was told that there was a high risk of me losing the baby if I went over my due date, and I felt it was something I had done. The last few months were difficult. I remember waking up in pain in the early hours, the morning after being induced. I rang my mum at 7 a.m. and curled up into a ball on the sofa until my mum and my sister arrived. By 12 p.m, my contractions were on top of each other, and the pain was so intense that I couldn't seem to catch my breath, so my mum took me to the hospital. After a 13-hour labour, I managed to give birth naturally to Zach, who was born at 4:56 p.m, weighing 7 pounds and 4 ounces. After having Zach, I had a lovely lady come round and show me some techniques to help me breastfeed. It was something I was passionate about doing, and Zach took to it straight away. After she left, I remember everyone rushing in to meet him and congratulate us. Everything seemed very surreal. I was taken for a shower, and after a couple of hours was told I had to go down to the ward and that my visitors had to leave. I remember spending the first few hours that night in hospital just looking at Zach. I was scared to hold him in case I hurt him, and got upset because I just wanted that emotional reassurance from my family. Once the shock subsided, I picked Zach up and held him in my arms, gave him a kiss for the first time, and told him that I loved him. Once I got home, I had a great midwife and health visitor who seemed to genuinely care about how I was coping and reassured me that I was doing well. My family were heavily involved and would speak to me every day and would make arrangements for me to stay at their house whenever I needed that extra support. The first few months were difficult. My relationship began to break down, and I was still getting used to the fact that I had a child and that my whole life had changed. I had to grow up quickly, and despite having 9 months to prepare, it felt like I had gone from a teenager to being a responsible adult overnight. My family and friends were crucial during the first 4 months, and were the ones who helped me during the transition of being a mum and coping with the breakdown of my relationship. I loved spending time with Zach and seeing his personality develop, watching him grow, and know that his well-being and development was because of my interaction, effort, love and attention. I breastfed him for a year and enjoyed every minute of it. It made our bond stronger, and I treasured every moment of closeness with him. After Zach's first birthday is when I decided to get my life back on track. I discussed the possibility of going to uni with my mum, to which she told me that it would be too difficult, but hearing that made me even more determined. I went on to do voluntary work with a local breastfeeding group, where I trained to be a peer supporter. I went back to night school for a year to boost my GCSE grades, and was accepted to do a child development and childcare course in a local Welsh nursery. With the support of my friends and family, I was able to structure my life. I balanced being a mum, working and learning. Having Zach made me want to push myself, set an example and be someone he could look up to and be proud of. My parents and friends would help out with Zach and ensured that I made time for myself too, which is incredibly important when you're a new mum, regardless of your age. I'm now in my last year of university studying to be an occupational therapist, working part-time with Cardiff Council and volunteering once a week with Marie Curie. Having that good support network has given me the opportunity to do everything I have done and want to do. I was fortunate and didn't experience mental illness during my pregnancy, but I'm sure if I didn't have my friends and family, things would have been different, and I wouldn't be where I am or the person I am today.